Hey guys, Matt here, and in today's demonstrational video, I'm going to quickly cover off a few other options for the pop-up. I had a lot of questions regarding the first demonstrational video around the back foot pop-up, and the questions were asking me, is this the only pop-up I should be trying to achieve? Now the quick answer is no. I wanted to show you that pop-up first within the Academy because it's my favorite pop-up to teach clients that have an issue with their foot positioning from the pop-up. So to clarify that a little bit more, I find most of my clients that have a dysfunctional pop-up, the reason it's not working is because their front foot is not landing in the sweet spot. It's landing on the side, a little short, it's going around their arm and going too far forward, and therefore when they stand up, their stance is dysfunctional and it creates a whole lot of issues for the rest of the ride. So the back foot pop-up I chose to show you first purely because it's a very easy one to understand to show you how to push your bum high and create space so you can actually get that front foot in the sweet spot. If you already have a great pop from the prone position, or you were someone that could pop up to both feet landing at the same time, or you were someone that used the chicken wing technique, which I'm going to show you in a moment, it is fine depending on where you're at with your pop-up. So what do I mean by that? Can you create pop? That's the first question. Now I want you guys to try this at home. It was covered a little bit in the first one, but we'll use a board this time to help show a little bit more of a real situation. So again, feet are off the back. And just quickly, this applies for a longboard too, if you're looking to get the most efficient pop you can. Toes are up, so we don't use our toes, sticking with that. Hands are where you like them, personally under the shoulders and on the deck, not around the rails for me. And I'm just gonna show you quickly what I mean by creating pop. So by using our hands as we push up, using our thighs as you peel off the thighs, and our knees to create the pop. And it looks like so, just going pop. Okay, and you can see I clearly launched the body off the board. As I am laying prone, you can see I'm sort of like worming up, okay? And as I guess arc up would be a more appropriate word for surfing, and push my kind of arms up and I arc my back backwards like this, I can create a lot of momentum and force into my knees and thighs. I'm basically transferring weight from chest and chin. I've got a lot of weight forward as I'm paddling, and then I'm basically transferring that weight all the way back to my thighs and knees. So you're creating a transfer of power and weight through to your thighs and knees to then unload or release that power and momentum through a pop off those knees. So it looks a little bit like this when I'm using full momentum, paddling, unworming, and creating the pop from the knees. Paddling, unworming, creating the pop from the knees. So guys, that's why the first test is just seeing if you can create pop from a prone position, not even getting feet onto the deck. Because if you can't do that, and I have found a lot of clients can't do that, then we start to look at other options to create a, I guess, efficient pop-up for you. And that's where the chicken wing one comes in. So let's talk about that now. And what that looks like as we lay down, we're just taking the pop out of the equation. So we're not trying to get this pop. We may not have strength through our arms. We may not be able to create the transfer of weight correctly. We just don't have that rhythm to do it. So the other one is just paddling, hands to your rails, and bringing your knee to the side of the foot that goes on the grip pad, so your back foot. Just bring your knee out, somewhat like a chicken wing, and that's where the names come from. So we bring it out, and we just plant the toes on the deck. Once we're there, we can push up, create that height of the backside by straightening the back leg out, swing the front foot through. So yet again, it's really achieving the same result. Chicken wing is getting the back foot on first, so it's still the same goal, back foot on first, straightening the bum out so that we create space under our chest and our hips to bring the front knee through the gate. So we're looking for the same goal. The reason I like the one I teach, which I call the back foot pop-up, and I'm going to use the word pop, is because you're creating a pop. It's more efficient. You're going to get up to your feet quicker. So try to achieve creating pop off the prone position using that worm analogy that I gave you earlier to transfer the weight through to the knees and thighs. And then if that isn't possible and you can't create pop, then you can use the chicken wing technique. So regarding what is the best pop-up, the answer is very personalized. You've got to meet yourself where you're at. If you don't have a strong pop, then maybe the chicken wing. if you do have a strong pop, but your feet positioning is a bit of a mixed bag, then I would suggest the back foot pop-up. However, if you have a pop-up where you can pop and you can basically land both feet underneath you at the same time in the correct position, then that is fine too. And it's a very advanced version, but if you're doing it, then fantastic. You can tick that box and move on. And on that note of the feet landing at the same time, I just want to make another clear point, because I had a few questions around this, about the bum not going high on some of my pop-ups, and I'll show you why. So if we're laying down, and you can create really good pop, so you can basically pop up really easily to that back foot, then you don't actually have to do the next stage, which is what I've said in the other version, pushing the bum high, because that takes time, right? I'm here, and all of a sudden I'm going into phase 2, and then phase 3 of my front foot through. Now I teach that technique purely because I find it allows for most of my clients to achieve correct feet positioning once they're up. But if you can get up with just kind of shoveling or swinging your hips and legs underneath you without even bringing your bum high, then that is the most advanced version and something that you should stick with. And again, just to show you that in fast motion, if you have a look at the pop-up now, and I'm just going to basically pop and fit the feet underneath me, and I'm up. So I didn't have any moment there where I tried to push the bum up high or straighten the leg out. I basically just was able to create enough sufficient pop that I could create pop and bring the feet underneath me. Front foot centralized, back foot middle of the grip pad on a 45-degree angle, heel up. And I'm off and I'm running. So as you can see, the pop-up where I swing my feet straight underneath my hips and land them at the same time on the board is the quickest way up, the most efficient way to get to those sweet spots and get off the mark. But the reason I don't coach it often is it's quite challenging, and it does create a lot of incorrect feet positioning from most of my clients that I've tried it out with over the years. So I've found by going through the back foot pop-up where you do take that one extra moment to straighten the bum up to create the space, most of my clients have had a better result from that to help them get more success on a more regular basis from the pop-up. One more question I did have, guys, around the pop-up is, should I land my back foot on the toes and on the ball of the foot every single time? Or can I land it with my heel back on the board? So the answer to that is no, you definitely don't need to have it up every single time. You can have it back when needed. So if I was to be paddling in and popping to my feet, knowing I was going to be going straight down the wave to try and get a bottom turn in to come straight up to hit it, I would look to have my heel pretty positioned for a bottom turn, so a little bit more up against the grip pad and glued to the back of the board. I might peel off it as I go into my rotation, but I wouldn't be certainly up on the toes as if I was just going straight down to do a bottom turn. So the reason that I mostly show you guys my pop-ups in these demonstrational videos with them landing like so, where you can see my heels up, toes are on, sort of that ball of the foot and the toes, it's because typically I'm looking on most beach break days to get speed first. I want to get at least one clean quick pump, maybe up the wave before I drop down, and then look to get more speed and momentum into my bottom turn so I can get more power and more energy into my top turn as a result. So that was just a quick one to answer. You don't need to land with your heel up every single time. It really depends whether you're going for speed or you're going straight into a bottom turn. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the tips in today's demonstration or video around a few different options and variations of the pop-up, depending on where you're at personally with your pop-up getting to your feet. As you can see, it really depends on whether you can create pop or not, whether you have consistent or inconsistent feet positioning, and from there you can pick one of those pop-ups that suit and meet you where you're at. So I hope you enjoyed those tips, and I look forward to seeing you guys in another demonstrational video soon.